YouTube, what's going on? I have what could end up being a long video, but there's a lot of content, a lot of new stuff, new to market that you might want to see. This is not one of them. This is just a car that I wheel swapped, and I think it looks awesome. I put some shorter axles on it so that it was just more proper. So that's pretty cool. I've been painting a lot of wheels and doing a lot of wheel swapping on Greenlight stuff, like this one here, for example. I didn't paint these, but these Durangos seem to only be coming out with black wheels, and I wanted something to lighten it up a little bit. I think it draws out some of the detail in the casting. So pretty cool there. This one here I did paint. These were black. And they look much better in silver. And the wheels that come on this casting are very, very skinny. They are accurate, but I just thought this was a better look for this particular 4x4. That spare tire on the back is the actual width of the stock tires. So I think it looks significantly better, although I did get some extra sets of those wheels and painted them silver as well. And that would have been my plan B. But honestly, I don't see a need. I think this looks pretty darn great as it is. The paint to use, if you want to do it, if you want to paint wheels like this and get a good quality finish with durability to where it's not gonna, the paint's not gonna rub off when you go to slide the tire on, it's Tamiya TS30. It's about $7 a can at your local hobby shop. Okay, I have a whole bunch of new Greenlight castings, but I'm going to save those for the later part of the video. I'm going to show you first my import stuff, starting with this. This is a Dido Toyota Celica GT, first generation. I did wheel swap this one. I also lowered it a little bit, so it's not a great roller, but it sure does look good. Really cool color. And it's a really nice displaying piece. And that's from Dido. Doesn't have lensed headlights, but it does have jeweled headlights. I don't have many Didos in my collection. Only two, actually. Okay. What else? I got this Konami. This is a Konami Subaru. Really cool color on this one with the red interior. This one does have lensed headlights. Tomica Limited Vintage also did this car. Lens taillights. Really nice detail. This is a cool little car. You would almost have to get this if you were a Subaru enthusiast. Another car that you would have to get if you're a Subaru enthusiast is this. This thing is so killer. This is from Hobby Japan. This is the Subaru Impreza WRX STI. Very highly detailed. It does roll, as most Hobby Japan cars do. There is a small paint flaw on that front wheel, but not noticeable to the naked eye. You can only really catch it on camera. And then these Hobby Japan cars have really nice lensed headlight and taillight detail, prototypical wheels. Just a really cool car. They released it in a few different colors, but if you know me, you know I want silver. Getting into, well, here, we've got one more and then we'll get into the Tomica Limited Vintage. Well, this is a great rolling car, as you can see. This is from Mini GT. And in my opinion, this is the best casting that they've done. I put this ahead of the Toyota Supra, which would be, in my opinion, their second best. Although their Pagani is really nice. I do need to get the Bentley, but this M3 BMW is... it's really nice. I mean, these wheels, look at the wheels on this thing. The tires are a really nice soft rubber, tons of grip, not like Greenlight where they're just a really basically a plastic. It's a Greenlight, you know, people want to call those rubber tires. I don't. I think they're plastic tires with tread, but it is a little bit of a softer plastic. But these, like, for example, a Greenlight, you could slide across the table going horizontally. This one, if you try doing that, the tires grip. Really cool car here. Has the rear defrost. Not a lot of brands doing that. So, Mini GT. Now, getting into the Tomica Limited Vintage, I will go from my least... there's only 3 that we're going to look at. Or, 1, 2, 3, 4. So, from least favorite to most favorite, this is a Toyota Mark II. I have a couple of GT versions of this as well, which have more of a sporty look. They have, I believe they have spoilers, but they also have the sporty wheels. This is more of a luxury sedan. Really cool champagne color. Excellent detail, which is to be expected with all Tomica Limited Vintage stuff. I guess my next favorite would be this Nissan Skyline. This is the R32. It is a 4-door. So, Tomica Limited Vintage has now done the R32, the R33, and the R34, all as 4 doors. They've also done the R30, the Hakoska, and they've done a Ken Mary van. So they have quite a few Skylines to choose from. Take a look here at this lens tail light detail. Though the lenses on this are blacked out, much like the Mazda RX-7. My next favorite would be this. Yes, I do like this more than the Skyline. This is the Nissan Leopard. One of only a handful of cars that Tomica Limited Vintage makes that were commercially available here in the United States. Although it was not known as the Nissan Leopard here. It was known as the Infiniti, I want to say i30. Tons of detail, great detail. And I did have this car already, but I had the gold one, which didn't have the spoiler, although it probably is a more recognizable color for this car. It's the color that Tomica used on the premium release. I actually have it right here. If I can get this box open, I'll pull it out real quick. But I don't want to spend too much time on it because I have a lot to get to. So here's the gold one that I'm trading for the silver one. So one nice thing about living local to the toy pimp is he will do color swaps if it helps his inventory, which in this case it does, because he currently does not have this gold one. I'm not sure which one is more desirable, or even which one is even more rare. I don't know. They're probably just about the same. The only way that one of them would be more rare than the other is if it came out a long time before the other one. Anyways, this Nissan Leopard is a really cool car. Cool color. So, if you're into the vintage Japanese stuff like I am, Tomica Limited Vintage is a great brand to collect. Here is a very popular car right now. Probably in the top 5 for diecast as far as popularity. I think the hottest car in diecast right now is the square body Chevy. But I think the Datsun 510 is up there. So are the Skylines. And this is a 510. It's a Datsun Bluebird estate wagon. And Greenlight hasn't released this one in quite a while, so this one you might want to scoop it up because the price on this is going to climb. These 510 wagons usually go in the 60 to 80 range, and I don't think that that's going to change just because they released 2 new colors. I don't think it'll take long for the 2 new colors to get up to that price, because I don't necessarily think they're going to be releasing it again anytime soon. So, anyways, that is the import diecast. Now I'm going to show you a whole bunch of new Greenlight. Not a whole bunch, but what do we got? 6. So I'm going to show you 6 new Greenlight. uh, castings. Of the 6, all 6 are new toolings within the last 6 months. This one, I've shown this tooling on the channel, but not this color. This is the best color, in my opinion, that it's come out in. And also has the most amount of detail. So this is the Volkswagen Rabbit. It is the same tooling that they use for the Golf, which is the car that Volkswagen replaced the Beetle with. Now, for all you collectors out there, the Schuko and the Kyosho are definitely a lot better. Not even close. But this is still a great car at the $6 price point. Thing about the Schuko is only $10 if you get it when it comes out. Problem is 6 months later it's a $20 car. Some of these Greenlight that we're going to take a look at here, though, are already starting to climb quite a bit. So just like everything else, I'm going to go least favorite to most favorite. This is a Jeepster Commando. Brand new tooling from Greenlight. This might even be the first release of it. I like the casting. I don't like the wheel and tire choice. The tires are too wide. Throws off the proportions of the casting, in my opinion. Kind of like the Ford Bronco that they do. So I do like, with some of their new toolings, with all the flaws that they have, that they are getting the proportions better on the tires. In some cases, not in all cases. This thing here is awesome. This is a 1969 Ford. And if you're a collector of vans, you're going to have to get this. 1969 Ford Club Wagon. It's a huge casting. Not sure if it's their biggest van, but it's definitely the widest. And it could be the biggest. It's a huge chunk of metal. So this one here, I think they did a really nice job on the casting. The last 3 are going to be pretty much impossible to find in the wild. Although this one here, I think you will be able to find, because it doesn't look as good as mine does. Because I took the time to lift it because it looks horrible with the stock stance. But I did keep Chevy wheels, although they're not the wheels that came on the truck. These wheels came out of the Chevy wheel accessory pack. But this is your K5. And it's actually a nice tooling. They didn't do a very good job sculpting it though. Like the wheel wells are just so bad. And as this tooling gets old and wears out, I think the quality is going to drop dramatically. But I'm happy to get one of these in a nice civilian deco, because the only other two that I have are, well, I'll show you here in a minute. It's the green, this green one here, and the other one is from the X-Files. This is the stock stance on this casting. So this right here is why you have to lift it, because that just looks awful. This looks really good. So you're definitely going to want to lift your K5s. Alright, let's continue on with these last two. These last two are selling for about 3 times the price of a normal Greenlight, even though they're brand new. This one here, there's only 2 or 3 sellers that have this listed on eBay right now. And this car, if you want my opinion, this is going to be a very expensive car to have in just a year or two. The only thing that would prevent that from happening is if Greenlight releases it multiple times with civilian deco, and I don't think that they're going to do that, because there's already about a dozen different decos that are out, and this is the only one that is not a police or taxi. So gonna definitely want to snag this, even if you have to pay $20 for it, because I just don't think you're gonna find it for cheaper. If anything, it's just gonna continue to climb. Now they are releasing this in a civilian deco in Hobby Japan Series 9, but I just don't think we're going to see very much of that. So it's going to be like the Mercury Marauders civilian decos. That's my prediction. Now, the other thing is that it comes with white wall tires. I can't stand white wall tires on most cars. This is one of them. So I did flip them. These are the same tires that came on the car. I just turned them around so that the white walls are on the inside. Very nice casting though. Yeah, as I've purchased the police cars of this casting, I've thought, man, there's just something off about the tooling. But as I sit here and look at this, it looks pretty darn good. Wheels and tires are probably just a little big. Other than that, it's on point, in my opinion. Alright, this last one, same thing. You're going to want to get it now, because the price is only going to go up. Even though they're going to make over 10,000 of them. By the way, this one here, I have no idea what the production run is going to be. But this is a relatively low number, number 756. And it's a vintage ad car, so I don't imagine it's going to be very high. Probably in the 4,000 range. This next one is going to be well over 10, because that's just what they do with Hollywood series. However, if you look on eBay, these are already selling upwards of $20, and it's impossible to find one of these that doesn't have a flaw. It's literally impossible, because if you find one with a straight bed, it'll have a crooked brush guard. If you find one with a straight brush guard, it'll have a broken roll bar, if it both of those are right, it'll have a crooked bed. So impossible to find a perfect one. I think mine is decent. There's a slight little bit of bed tilt. Not much, but there is a little bit. And then I do have a crooked brush guard. But I only paid $7 for this. So I'm not going to complain too much because it definitely looks way better than most that I've seen. And just for the fun of it, since I have it out, here's the Ford Lightning. This is about to come out in black. Greenlight right now is killing it, and there's still a whole bunch more new castings on the way. So I really do wish that whoever designs their castings, I wish that they were better. I wish they were consistent, because some of them are good, some of them are not. Like the Nissan Patrol here, I think is a really nice little casting, other than the wheels and tires. But some of their cars are just not good. Anyways, here's a great run of new Greenlight toolings from the last 6 months or so. And this isn't even all of them. There's the Ranchero. I know I'm missing a bunch, so I like that they're bringing out a bunch of stuff. And I don't even really mind the design imperfections, but the build quality, the quality control has been horrible. So if they could get that cleaned up, that would be great. That Ford Lightning looks so killer. You gotta be careful with this one too. You don't see a lot of bed tilt with this casting, but what you do see is a lot of flashed wheels. So I've purchased 3 of these. I've purchased every single one of these that I've found that doesn't have bed tilt or flashed wheels. Really cool truck. Anyways, that's it. Surprised I got all these cars in under a half hour. So if you watched the last video, that is one of the 2 layouts that I'm working on. I started a new one today because I really want a car dealership. And I've been meaning to make one. In fact, I bought this board to make a car dealership, and I ended up with this. So every time I start making a diorama, it ends up being something else. So today I went and bought a board. And I bought a building, which I'm going to grab here. It's a very small building, and it's going to be my sales office. The building is lit though. I probably won't use the lighting on it, but that's going to be my sales office. Man, that building looks really good on this layout. But I don't know. It'll be interesting to see how that layout comes out, because there's not going to be dirt and grass. There will be some trees, but it's going to be a parking lot. So I have to make the very best parking lot that I've ever made, because it's going to be a paved parking lot. It's not going to be a dirt lot like this one. Alright, everyone. Thank you for watching. Happy die casting. I'll talk to you at the next video.